I love balls, and so does Nintendo. Every modern game they've released today features them in some way. But when did this testicle obsession start? Well, Nintendo has actually been trying to make ball-like games since the dawn of time, like all the way back on the Game & Watch in 1980. With games literally called Ball, or even later on the NES with Pinball. Nintendo has been pushing this agenda for quite a while. And if you didn't know, Mario's been there since the very start. In NES Pinball, he is literally the main character for whatever reason. And at one point in history, Mario even literally became a ball. It's just fucking crazy. On first view, it almost looks blasphemous. But there's a story behind this, and there's a story it left behind. So let's go where the story really starts. The prototype Ball Mario in Super Mario Land. Now this is Super Ball Mario, a transformation Mario undertakes when collecting the Super Ball Flower. This power is pretty much just the fire flower, but the balls actually ricochet off walls, making it actually kind of interesting. This thing is really an enigma though. When you expect a power-up in Mario, you expect Mario to change his look a little bit. But this is how Ball Mario looks. It's just regular-ass Mario. It's just now he has the power to throw balls. This power-up was left in the past for a while, and I'd argue it used to be kinda niche. It pretty much only made this one appearance, but then Mario Maker 2 brought it back from the fucking dead for just no reason, and they even referenced the Super Ball Flower in Mario Kart World of all things in the Daisy portion of the map. So it's still remembered pretty fondly by Nintendo, I suppose. And I mean, rightfully so. Mario Land is a pretty beloved game to this day. It's aged a little bit, but this was a cool game with a cool new power. As we can see, Nintendo was already innovating trying to bring this sphere mechanic into their platformers. But while they were off doing that, a bunch of other studios just started fucking bit biting. The NES Mario pinball bit Miyamoto made, everyone thought that was pure genius for some fucking reason. There were like 2 bajillion pinball games coming out on Nintendo consoles at this time. Bro, check this shit out. There was Kirby's Pinball Land, Sonic Pinball Party, Pokemon Pinball, and then for some reason that wasn't enough, so they made a sequel, Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. There was Muppet Pinball Mayhem, Disney's The Little Mermaid 2 Pinball Frenzy. This game is based off of The Little Mermaid 2, not even the actual real movie, the second one. I didn't even know it was a thing. In the early 2000s, pinball was everyone's favorite game. Everybody just wanted to play pinball. Melee dropped, but nobody was even paying attention to that because Pinball Advance just dropped, and Pac-Man Pinball Advance is coming out soon. This was an actual gaming trend at the time. It's pretty ridiculous. And Miyamoto thought so too. He wasn't paying too much attention to it. He was just busy innovating for his next project. But then all of a sudden, he got a visit from some interesting British people. They stepped off the plane and pitched to Miyamoto their idea. This British game studio, named Fuse Games, showed off a prototype of a Mario pinball-like, a sequel to their famous NES game. Miyamoto was down. He stepped on as the game's producer, and they shook hands and greenlit this project. Miyamoto was the game's producer, but he didn't actually have too much involvement in it. It was pretty much just 5 random dudes that made this game over the course of 18 months. And they popped out Mario Pinball Land, releasing in 2004. Or, if you want me to be formal, it's called Super Mario Ball if you're from Japan or Europe. In the plot of Super Mario Ball, Mario and friends are celebrating at the fun fair. They're doing a little ceremony because a new attraction in the park has just been released, known as the Sky Cannon. The Sky Cannon is a new form of transportation that's been developed in the Mario world. It's a cannon that launches people to certain destinations, which is a pretty damn impressive invention. It probably makes any other form of air travel obsolete, but however, there is a catch. The only way to use it is to be shaped like a ball. And that's clearly a huge fucking flaw. I don't know how they didn't think of that first. But don't worry, they made a fix to this. They patched it. They just ended up creating this other machine, the Pinballer. And this thing's whole purpose is to literally crush your organs and insides and restructure your entire anatomy to become a ball-shaped person. Holy mother of God, this feels like this should be like a Mortal Kombat fatality. And this is how we get introduced to Ball Mario, and even Ball Peach, and there's Ball Toads. It's genuinely so awesome. It's one of the coolest mechanics I've ever seen in a video game, to be honest. And of course, being ball-shaped does have its perks, like being able to use the Sky Cannon, so it's a great day for us all. Some Goombas end up rigging the Sky Cannon to shoot Peach into Bowser's castle, so then Ball Mario has to go through different ball-like lands and save Princess Peach. And that's pretty much the game's plot. That's the reason why Mario is a ball. There's a couple of different bosses you fight on this adventure, like Petey Piranha, Big Boo, Bowser, Porcupuffer, you know, some classics. And then you also get to fight King Tut. Yeah, like the guy from real life history, King Tut. He's in this game as a boss. So I guess this does mean that canonically in the Mario lore, King Tut was a Koopa in his lifetime. There's lots of implications here, but I mean, yeah, that's King Tut fighting Ball Mario in Mario Pinball Land. I'm not lying to you here. Also, surprisingly, not the only King Tut character in the Mario series. In the first Paper Mario, there was Tutan Koopa, who was, you know, King Tut also. And also in the episode The 10 Koopa Mandments in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, King Koopa decides to roleplay as Koop Tut. There's literally 3 of these fucks. But as you can see, Mario Pinball Land is a pretty fucking cool game. And everybody else thought so too. This game literally killed pinball hype. After this game came out, the trend died real fucking hard. There were only a couple more pinball games to come out afterward, like there was Metroid Prime Pinball, a game where you play pinball with Samus in her morph ball form, or even Odama, which is a really obscure GameCube pinball game where you play as the General Yamauchi Kagetora in a war in feudal Japan, and you want to avenge your father's death. So you create the ultimate weapon, the Odama, which is a giant pinball that you control to literally kill hordes of Japanese soldiers. It even came with the GameCube microphone, and you'd use the mic to tell your soldiers what formations to take while you were out just murdering people with the Odama. This game is definitely sick. It's up there with Cubivore as one of my favorite obscure GameCube games. But even though Metroid and Odama were both cool in their own ways, they would both flop pretty hard. The last Metroid Prime title to ever be released would be Metroid Prime Federation Force. They would never get another Prime game ever again. And the last Odama title to ever be released would be Odama. I mean, it all makes sense. Mario Pinball Land had already perfected the formula. It was actively killing other titles. With an impressive 5 out of 10 on IGN, it rivals iconic RPGs like Mario and Luigi Brothership. Fuse Games would be so proud of themselves, in fact, that they'd literally changed their company name to Silver Ball Studios, and they just kept fucking making pinball games, cause you know they were that good at making them. But sometimes they would branch out, you know, they would end up making Active Health with Carol Vorderman, and Thomas and Friends Hero of the Rails. And then they went bankrupt and were never seen again, but they were the founders of Ball Mario, and Ball Mario would continue getting appearances in games. Mario Party 8 with the Bolo candy gave us Ball Drybones and Ball Birdo. Mario Galaxy would have Mario rolling on a ball to complete levels. Superstar Saga Mario could attack enemies as a ball. Ball Mario would even receive a toy at McDonald's in 2006. If you got lucky enough, you could open your Happy Meal and receive this toy. There were also 2 different Donkey Kong toys and a Yoshi toy in here. They were all pretty awesome, honestly. Wario can turn into a ball in Wario Land 3. In Mario Wonder, you can turn into a Spike Ball Mario. And you know that one famous image of rapping Mario? I bet you didn't know that it was from a Japanese commercial for Mario Pinball Land. Silver Ball Studios may have died a cruel and twisted death, but their creation lives on today. And not just Mario games, but every game.